Okay, we're here with Tomo Bystedt, and when we're talking irons with TaylorMade, Tomo's the man to speak with. TaylorMade's got several new irons. We're going to start, Tomo, with the M2, the new M2, and tell us how you've improved that from the previous version that we've already seen.
Yeah, so the current M2, as you know, has been very successful for us, and it's built on this very low CG platform with high COR that produces a lot of distance and height. And that's really what the essential recipe was for M2. And now, with the new M2 for 2017, what we've been able to do is we've been able to actually add an element of more forgiveness to that platform. And so the challenge for us was, how do we engineer an iron with this low CG platform of M2 and actually improve the CG even more while adding face slots. And face slots traditionally have been a little bit detrimental to CG, which is why we didn't have them on the original M2.
Right.
But we have made a lot of improvements elsewhere in the head to really make that happen. And obviously, the face slots, the end result of that is you're going to get more ball speed, especially on the toe of the club, as miss hits tend to be there anyway for most average golfers. That's going to reduce the dispersion a lot with irons, especially from a distance perspective.
Okay. We saw a clinic earlier where Dustin Johnson was here, John Rahm was here. Dustin Johnson, I think, hit a 4-iron like 260 yards or something ridiculous like that. Traditionally, they're not going to be players who put an M2 iron in the bag, but might we see some of them put a 3-iron or a 4-iron in the bag?
Yeah, I mean, it's very likely, to be honest with you. We every year, when we show tour irons to the players, they also get a chance to try out our game improvement clubs. And it's more for us to get some feedback, gather some content, and sometimes it's just a fun, lighthearted thing at the end of a testing session of serious product. Because a lot of these guys take it as a challenge to see how far they can hit it, you know. And so in this case, with Dustin today, hit a 262-yard carry with it, is phenomenal. But in all seriousness, though, these guys are looking at that and going, that shot could actually be very helpful for me during a round of golf, and especially when we get to courses like you typically see at the Open Championship where they're running firm and fast, and if you can get a long iron that runs out, you can hit it almost as far as a driver with a lot more control. So I've already had requests from a few tour players. Sergio is one of them who as soon as he tested it, he was like, I need one of those for the Open Championship. And so I expect to see some. We're not counting on that. We're certainly not going to particularly market that, but it's going to be something that's going to be fun to see develop during the year.
I like how you said that 260 carry with a 4-iron. That might be a shot that somebody could use. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, TaylorMade has also come out with an M1 iron. Before you get into specifics, it's curious to me that when you introduced the M family, there was no M1 iron. There was the M1 driver, and later the M2 driver and the M2 iron. We didn't see an M1 iron before. Why was that?
Well, really, our goal all along was to have a product that would live up to the M1 name. And to be perfectly honest, it was an iron that took a little bit longer to develop. And the reason for that is there was an engineering challenge that wasn't necessarily there with the other products. What we tried to do is basically take the performance of an M2, the distance and height of M2, now with the added forgiveness of face slots, and put that in a much smaller package, right? And so there's a lot of sort of challenge that comes with sort of miniaturizing everything, right? And we, the first thing that we did was we wanted to make the blade length a little shorter, the top line a little thinner, reduce the offset, and make the sole a little thinner as well, more thinner playable sole. So all these things are reducing weight out of the head. And one of the great benefits of the original M2 is how much mass we have low in the head. So trying to find a way to put that mass in the sole, we actually came up with a solution of using a tungsten weight that basically goes in the toe of the golf club. And that also serves some secondary benefits, which is more inertia in the head. So it's more stable and off-center hits. So really, the big challenge was that in terms of getting the performance right. Now the second part of the challenge in terms of engineering and why we didn't have it originally is the sound and feel aspect of it. We didn't have the geoacoustic engineering ready last year, and obviously you didn't see it on the original M2, and now for the M1 and M2, both of these are featuring this geoacoustic badge design and also this geoacoustic system in the toe. And so all these things are creating better sound and field impact. And obviously if it's going to be an M2 product or an M1 product, they have to deliver on all those different things, whether it's sound and feel, trajectory, distance, forgiveness. And if any of those fall short, that's not an iron that for us is ready for prime time.
Thanks, Tom.
Appreciate it.